to a number. What do you think, Thomas?
Very ridiculous, isn't it? You know, it's funny seeing this again because, I mean, it's not so funny. I used to be in the software development and coding arena. I was a certified software test engineer for a number of years. I've analyzed hundreds of millions of lines of code back in my day. And we used to look for hidden channels, covert channels, back doors. You know, this is the space of the digital age. And why? Because we're increasingly reliant on these very systems. And you know, what does it mean when the government actually has a state-sponsored program to ensure that the electronic infrastructure of society is as weak and as insecure as possible? What does it tell you? Now the government is actually the enemy, isn't it? Well, they turned me into an enemy of the state. It was all power projection. Right? And so
your crimes were similar because we basically embarrassed AT&T. And in the end, you didn't have any classified information that you revealed, but you certainly embarrassed the NSA.
Yeah, and it's really interesting psychologically when you make an institution look bad. So, to save their face, they're going to spite you. And that's precisely what happened to me. I mean, I remember you don't spend a lifetime as I did in various capacities. Military, in the Cold War, as a contractor, I did a lot of consulting in Silicon Valley. I mean, it's funny, I remember when I was a virtual member of the Chaos Computer Club in the 1980s, those were really innocent days now, and I look back on them. There wasn't all these dark shadows about what could be. It was, you had the ethics of anything you discovered or found, you would share. And it was really cool, and you had clubs, and you got together, and you had dinners, and families chatted, and you did all kinds of things like that together. And it was all this new technology. My first computer was an Atari 800. It was really, really a moment when I was being severely interrogated by FBI willingly in my house in November of 2007 when they showed up with a dozen FBI agents that were armed. And they tossed my house. And one of the technicians was coming up from this. I have all kinds of legacy equipment, okay? So it was really funny because I was seeing like, 300 baud acoustic modems, being confiscated by the FBI, and I had this highly modified. I used to be, I'm gonna like reveal myself here, come out of the hacker closet in part. I used to do hardware hacking. I mean, that was a big deal. I remember sitting around a kitchen table with friends, and we're down to our last EEPROM, right? If we didn't burn it correctly, we'd fry our Atari 810 disk drive, right? All of 90K that it was at the time, right? So he's coming up the stairs with one of my highly modified Atari 8-bit computers, and I looked at him, I said, do you really need that? It was like a museum piece, right? It was like a one-off. There weren't many of these around. And I said, that was an operating system designed in 1978 and 79, 10K operating system. It hasn't been modified for like 30 years, right? You really need that? And he said, no, I guess not. And he actually went back down the stairs and put it on the shelf. That hard, yes.
I wish you would update, but it's the. Sorry,